Hi, this is Marc with RawNutrition.com. In this video, we'll be making apple juice with 3 different types of juicers. We've got the Omega, which is a centrifuge juicer. This model here, Kuvings, is an upright masticating juicer. And the Omega 8006, a horizontal masticating juicer. You'll see each of these will have a varying degree of success in the juice we get. We often get calls of people looking, they purchased a juicer, they make apple juice, and they said, my apple juice doesn't look like store-bought juice. You can be sure the juice we'll be making with these will not look like this apple juice that you buy in the store. This is highly filtered, probably something's added or done to keep it yellow and golden. I really don't know, but definitely what you're going to get from this is very different than what you get in a bottle that's good for over a year. So let's get started. We'll do our juice with each juicer one at a time. Okay, so first off is the Omega O2. It's a centrifuge juicer. Basically, this juicer has a blade inside, which will, the apples will get cut in, the pulp will, remaining pulp will go onto the screen, and through centrifugal force, centrifugal force, you'll get the juice that comes out. The pulp comes out the back here in a collecting bin, and our juice will come out the front. So I'll cut my apples here to get started. Our opening here is oval shaped, so we can get in some decent sized apples. Cut a few up ahead of time. I'm cutting these fresh as I go, because you know apples will definitely turn brown pretty quickly. You'll find juice with the harder apples like these, Granny Smith or Royal Gala, or even some of the Red Delicious apples. Apples that have a firm flesh will yield the most juice in these types of juicers. I lost a piece there. Okay, let's just keep cutting. I'll put all my pieces in and then we'll get started. So with these, I mean, you can leave your core inside, all that'll go out with the pulp. No need to core your apples. You use organic apples. Leave the skin on. So basically I found for this comparison apples of similar size. It's not really scientific, so we won't be measuring the exact quantity each juicer will produce, but we'll be looking at the type of juice it gives us. Get my piece so we have accurate measurement. Alright, so let's get started. Remember, with the centrifuge juicers, it can be pretty loud. Gives a relatively good success with hard things like carrots, beets, or apples. Use the harder apples. That way you'll get more juice than just mush. That piece was a little big. I have to squeeze it in. Quieter all of a sudden. Probably with the pulp build up on the inside here on the edge, it's quieting it a little bit. You see our juice is pretty green, color coming from the skin on this apple. Fair bit of foam. And there you have our result with the Omega O2 juicer. There's a bit of foam in there. I've shook it up. Can't really tell, but it's a lot of air gets incorporated with the centrifuge juicer. So there will be some separating here. Next up, we're going to use the Kuvings whole slow juicer. This is a new juicer that's been on the market since the beginning of 2014. The advantage here, we'll be able to put in the whole apples. It's a slow turning juicer with a single auger. You see everything gets crushed with this auger here in the center. The pulp pushed through the screen, and then the juice comes out here, and you'll have your pulp coming out the pulp outlet off to the side. This juicer is definitely easy to use. It is quieter than a centrifuge juicer, and the advantage with the 3-inch feed chute, you can put your whole apples in. You do need to push it through. There's a tab here, so they don't just fall right in. So you do have to push to get your apple in. Then let your juicer work. It's not as fast. It's only turning at 60 revolutions per minute. Let it process the food. Listen to the machine, and then you can see when it's pretty much processed it, push in the next one. That's pretty much it. Just one little push gets it past. And if it doesn't go past, if it gets it past that part, you can push down again. Make sure the auger takes that up and crushes it. As you can see right away, results with this juicer, there's a lot more juice, a lot less foam than what we were getting with our Omega O2 Centrifuge Juicer. Another apple in. We're getting a lot more juice, just definitely a thinner layer of foam on top. Slow, upright masticating juicers like this also tend to make this more homogenized, more all together. The juice will separate less. If you look over to our centrifuge juicer, you quickly got separation here with the juice on the bottom and the foam on top. We'll push in our last apple. Being able to put in whole fruits like this definitely makes the job a lot easier. And you're pretty much done once all your pulp has been pushed through and you don't have any more juice coming out. You know, the juicer will have gotten pretty much everything it can out of it. That little vibrating was the cap I had on there. Pusher. Okay. Next up, we'll be using the Omega 8006, a very popular juicer. It's a single auger masticating juicer, similar to the function of our Kuvings. This juicer has a single auger where everything will be pushed through the feed chute, crushed with the auger, and then pressed through the screen. Make sure I assembled this correctly. I always like to do it right on the juicer. Put your auger in, slide your screen in, and then lock the end cap. Perfect, so there we go. Just cut our apples here for the Omega 8006 juicer. These will definitely have to make smaller quarters. This juicer's opening is 1.5 inches round, so it's not very big. The juicer turns at 80 revolutions per minute. It's a little bit faster than our whole slow juicer here, but definitely a slow speed compared to our centrifuge juicer. So it does require a little more prep work getting your pieces of fruits and vegetables prepared for this juicer. Again, I can leave the core. It'll get pushed out with the pulp. The 8006 has been around for quite a number of years. It's well liked. It's a very good juicer. It's a little bit more effort to prepare your apple ahead of time here compared to using the whole slow juicer where I was able to push everything right in. Here definitely have to prepare, and I'll keep my knife handy because I'm sure some of these pieces won't fit in the smaller 1.5 inch feed chute. Okay, so there we go. We'll get started with the Omega 8006. You simply feed it. The auger takes up the produce pretty quickly. But you do have to push things in to get the auger to take up the produce. Some of these slices are a bit tight fittings. You have to push a little harder than what you normally push if you cut them to fit. The pulp with these juicers is pretty nice and dry. Same we had with the pulp with our whole slow juicer. It was also nice and dry. The hardest apples are the best to use for making apple juice. If you use softer flesh apples, you may notice with a single auger juicer like this that it wants to back up. There's not much fiber to carry it through the auger and through the screen and out the end. The Granny Smith generally works really well because it's a hard fiber and it's able to get carried through. Nice thing about these juicers is they're quiet. You can use them first thing in the morning without waking everybody up in the house. Make fresh apple juice or orange juice, grapefruit juice, or whatever you like. I'll show you the foam here. There's pretty similar to our whole slow juicer. Not much foam compared to the amount of juice, so definitely it is better than the centrifuge juicer. Now you are starting to see some of the pulp building back up. You can slowly hold that and the juicer will eventually get that out. You can also reverse and forward to help move that around a bit and get your pulp out. See, you find about here, you push and it wants to come back up. Just because this fiber is very soft, there's nothing to carry it through. If you were juicing a mix vegetables or fruits, you could use a different fruit to help push that through, because right now I'm not able to get this last part through. Whether I go forward or reverse, I pretty much got that through now. With the single auger juicer too, when you open this up, you'll find you have some fiber left around the auger inside. Okay, so now we'll check our yields and the type of juice we have. So this is what we got with our Omega Centrifuge Juicer. That's, as I said, a lot of foam on top. And I won't put that foam in, it's definitely turning brown. Our whole slow juicer. Got pretty much more in the glass there. Oh, right just to the edge. There's our nice juice with the whole slow juicer. And then our Omega 8006. Yeah, the rest is pretty much foam. This is our pulp with the Omega 8006. Definitely nice. Just put that over here. You can see it. Definitely nice and well juiced. I still have a little bit of juice I can squeeze out of there. My glass is full. Our pulp with the whole slow juicer. Very similar looking to the pulp out of the Omega 8006. They are both masticating juicers and slow turning. We're definitely getting a very similar pulp end result. And a pulp with a centrifuge juicer, well, you'll notice some whole slices going through the peel that's not getting juiced. Pieces like this. I'll let you look inside there and you'll see it pretty much have pulp and mixed pieces. I could probably definitely squeeze some juice out of that still. Let's go ahead and try the other ones if I can squeeze any juice out of there. These definitely feel a lot drier. And see, I'm squeezing super hard. Just a little bit of foam coming through my fingers, but that is it. But the centrifuge juicer does leave some juice in there. Some pieces are going through without getting juiced. And the 8006, I'd be surprised if I could squeeze anything out of that. Definitely same thing, just a little bit of foam through my fingers. No juice being squeezed out of that. I always look at these. The whole slow juicer is definitely the one that's all solid one color. With this one here, we're still having that separation. You can see the juice is still trying to separate. Very liquid, clear on the bottom. A little more fuzzy here and then some foam on top. Wasn't really able to get much more juice out of this. And what is there is getting brown pretty quickly. Of course, this juice will turn brown unless you added some lemon juice to keep it from turning brown. Alright, well, let's give this a taste test and see what it's like. Alright, Omega 8006. Very nice. Definitely tastes. I do feel a little bit of pulp in this juice, but not too much. Not disagreeable, but it's very nice flavor. We'll try the whole slow juicer from Kuvings. Very good, very similar to this. I don't sense any pulp in it like I am tasting in this one from the Omega 8006. And this one here, well, it's pretty odd. Let's just shake it a little bit. And I already know what it's going to taste like. Right away I can taste the air that was put in there. It feels a little bit oxidized. It's not as nice tasting as these two. I much prefer these. A reasonable amount of juice for 4 apples. My personal recommendation, of course, will be the whole slow juicer. There's no pulp. Every swallow I've done with this one has pulp. You see it's floating near the top. This one here is very nice. Either way, you can't go wrong with the Omega 8006 or the whole slow juicer. You want to go with something real easy to use, the whole slow juicer will be your best bet. Again, this is Mark with Raw Nutrition. Be sure to subscribe to our videos. Stay up to date to these video comparisons that we do every week. And check us out online at RawNutrition.com.